He left
I
her
can't
because
shake
she was
this feeling
broke.
that something isn't right
3 days
here. There's
later,
something
she
we're not
buried her
seeing and it's
father.
making me
By the time
anxious.
the will was read,
I can't
everything
shake
had
this feeling
changed.
that something isn't
And the
right
next
here.
time
There's
he saw
something we're
her,
not seeing and it's
he
making me
needed an
anxious.
appointment. Lyora Bennett never asked Adrian Vale for luxury. Their apartment was small. The paint near the kitchen window was peeling. The heater worked only when it wanted to, but she believed in building slowly. Adrian didn't. He believed in momentum, in status, in moving forward fast. And lately, he had started looking at her like she was an anchor. Her father had been in the hospital for weeks. The medical bills sat unopened on the table. Leora was exhausted. Adrian was impatient. "What's the plan?" he asked one night, pacing the living room. "My father is dying," she whispered, "and I'm supposed to keep waiting for things to magically change," he snapped. The room felt smaller, tighter. "I need stability, Leora. I can't keep carrying everything." She blinked at him. "I never asked you to carry me," but he had already made his decision. It wasn't screaming. It was worse. It was controlled disappointment. "I need someone I can build with," Adrian said, grabbing his jacket. She felt the words like a bruise. "Please," she said softly. Her voice cracked. "Not right now. I can't lose you too." He hesitated, just for a second, but ambition is louder than empathy. "I'm sorry." The door closed. Silence swallowed the room. Leora stood there for a moment, then slowly sank to the floor. Her hand covered her mouth as the sob escaped. She wasn't begging for money. She wasn't begging for comfort. She just didn't want to be alone. Her phone buzzed. "Hospital." She answered while still sitting on the floor. "You need to come now." She held her father's hand as the machines hummed softly. Victor Bennett had built his life quietly. No headlines, no flashy cars, just discipline, just legacy. He looked at her with tired eyes. "Never beg someone to stay," he whispered. She swallowed tears. "You won't have to anymore." Those were his last words to her. 3 days later, she buried him, and something inside her hardened, not into anger, into clarity. The lawyer's office smelled like polished wood and silence. Nathan Price adjusted his glasses. "Your father structured his assets under your name 5 years ago." Leora blinked. "What assets?" "Majority shares in Bennett Holdings, commercial real estate, private equity investments." The numbers sounded unreal. She didn't smile. She didn't gasp. She just listened. Grief doesn't celebrate. But now she understood why her father never panicked, why he never rushed, why he never begged. Money didn't change her overnight. Discipline did. She hired advisors, but she asked questions. She studied financial reports at night. She sat in meetings where older executives underestimated her. She listened more than she spoke. And when she did speak, it was precise. Grief sharpened her focus. Loneliness built her resilience. Months passed. The small apartment was replaced by a quiet, minimalist condo. Not flashy, just earned. An article appeared online, "Bennett Holdings under new leadership." Adrian saw it, and for the first time he felt small. He hadn't expected the building to be that tall. Glass, steel, controlled silence. The receptionist looked at him calmly. "Do you have an appointment?" He swallowed. "No. I'm afraid Ms. Bennett is fully booked today." Ms. Bennett. He waited anyway. When she finally walked into the conference room, she didn't look different. She looked settled, composed. He stood up too quickly. "I made a mistake." She said nothing. "I was under pressure. I wasn't thinking clearly." Still silence. Then she looked at him. Not with anger, with understanding. "You don't miss me," she said gently. "You miss what I became." The words landed without aggression. "I begged you to stay when I was breaking. You left." She stood. "I learned how to stand alone." He reached for something to say, but there was nothing left. "Take care, Adrian." And she walked out first. The cemetery was quiet that afternoon. She stood in front of her father's grave. "I understand now," she said softly. You were never afraid of losing people. You were afraid of losing yourself. The wind moved gently through the trees. She wasn't angry anymore. She wasn't heartbroken. She wasn't waiting. She had learned the difference between love and convenience, and she would never beg again.